And a very warm welcome back to yet another scintillating episode of A Jolly Good Natter over coffee and biscuits with myself, Richard Story, and my erstwhile partner in crime, whose name is...
Mark Cameron.
Yes, he always remembers it. I just don't know how he does that. That's his secret superpower. Now, you may recall, dear listener, if you were paying close attention to the last podcast, which you were fortunate enough to listen to, that at the beginning of the said podcast, we were having a little set to because although it's called A Jolly Good Natter over coffee and biscuits, a certain person had neglected to bring the coffee. And you know what? Yeah, you can guess what I'm going to say. He has neglected to bring it again. So what do you have to say for yourself this time, Mr. Cameron? Over to you.
I'm enjoying this bottle of water.
You don't offer it to me, do you? Don't worry, I've got my own. Yeah, well, yes. Yeah, but you know, it's just the thought that counts. Oh dear, what am I going to do with you?
Yeah.
Anyway, so have you had a good week?
Yeah, I've had a good week. Yeah. Briefly before the pod started, we were talking about your skills with technology these days.
Well, yes, except there aren't any skills.
Yes, I know. I was trying to make you sound better than what you was.
You're very kind.
Yeah. So,
yes,
yeah, my week has been fantastic.
I'm glad to hear that. Yeah. Did you do lots of learning of new technology in your spare time?
I dabbled a little bit in some technology.
Ah, okay.
I did. Did some of the boxing. I've done some boxing.
Oh, yes. Did you knock any of them out?
No.
Did they knock you out?
No.
Okay, I'm glad to hear that.
I'm one of the coaches, so if they did knock me out, that would be very, very concerning.
Well, it would rather, yes.
Yeah, because they're meant to spar each other, not spar me.
Ah, so you stand back and watch them punch the living daylights out of each other. I see.
Get it, yeah.
I see.
So one thing I can say that we did for the boxing, we did hill sprints.
Now, what is that?
I'm glad you asked.
Okay, well, why don't you answer then?
So, do you know Fox Hill round here? Fox Hill, and do you know where the St. Paul's Church is?
Yes.
If you go right to the ends of the road of St. Paul's, not where the main road is, where the 157 and 410 is, but the opposite end.
Okay.
And turn right, there's a big hill that leads into Crystal Palace Parade.
Okay.
So what they did, they were doing sprints up that hill.
Good gracious.
Yes.
Have you got a death wish or something?
So what it does, it helps build your VO2 max, which is the oxygen that your body can produce during running or intense exercise, which can help them in the ring, and also build that for fitness. As we've noticed that some of them are not very
thin.
Yeah, just the endurance is a bit poor, to say the least, sometimes. Right. We're working on it. We're proud of how far they've got.
Yeah.
They've got better than what they were a couple of months ago, but they are not at the standard where we think they could last a couple of rounds. They get a bit puffed out, a bit wheezy. So on that, same as what you did on that podcast a few months ago, where you sounded as if you needed a breathing action.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You're very kind. Yes, but listeners won't know what you're talking about because that one, we decided not to broadcast it.
Yes, very true, very true.
So when they go up the hill and they get out of breath, I mean, you just leave them there stranded halfway up or something?
They got to walk back down the hill and then they got to do it again.
Oh, gosh,
so we
that's
do that about 6 to 7 times.
Wow.
Yes.
And then you say, now will you pay your subs, please? And we'll let you go home.
Yeah, so it's good.
Well, I'm glad you think so. Do you go running up this hill or do you just stand and watch?
I did. And I'm not going to lie, I was pretty exhausted.
I think you were.
So it's really good for hamstrings,
yes,
glutes, and just general fitness. It's fantastic. And you get less injuries from it because you're not running as far and...
Well, you say that, but actually, you did actually have your hamstring injury, and that might have been set off by all that running up and down the hill.
It could have been.
You see.
Yeah.
I mean, has it improved since we last spoke?
A tad.
A little bit. Well, I'm glad to hear that.
Yes.
I mean, what if you go back there again next time and the other one gets pulled? What are you going to do then?
I don't know.
Well, you haven't thought about that, have you?
No, I haven't.
It's a good job I came.
No. Well, how's your week been?
Oh, my week's been good. Well, I was actually getting a bit nostalgic this week.
Oh, okay.
For some reason, and I don't know why, but it just popped into my mind about pets that I have had. Not that I've had very many. I think I may have mentioned in a previous session that I once had a tortoise. And it wasn't a particularly triumphant ownership because it didn't survive its first hibernation. Went to sleep and never woke up.
Wow.
But I also had a goldfish.
Okay.
Yes. And the Goldfish, I discovered, could do breakdancing.
I'm interested. Please tell me more.
Yes. Well, it had a lot of potential, but as I found out, I think a little bit too late. Yeah, although it could do the breakdancing, it could only do it for about 20 seconds, and it only did it once.
Okay.
So that was that. So my pet owning history is not particularly something to be proud of.
You've left the listeners in awe, firstly.
Yes.
And secondly, we like to know, when you say breakdancing, was it breakdancing to music, or did it just randomly just do it? You just give us a little bit more detail. You're just leaving us on tender hooks here. Boom, boom.
Oh, very, very good. Good. Did you work that one out all by yourself?
I did.
Was it out of a cracker?
Yeah.
No, there wasn't any music. No. I was just too busy watching it flipping around on the top of the table where it was.
Boom, boom. All right.
Yes, but it did it for about 20 seconds. I thought that's really athletic. I've never seen it.
It was gasping for air. If you put it on the table, you sit on the table.
Yeah,
was it not in his fish tank?
Well, how do you do breakdancing in a fish tank?
But there you go.
Oh, well, that explains why I only did it once.
Yeah.
For 20 seconds.
And then it died.
Yes, but I thought it was just because it was tired. Well, there you go. So, see, but you know, that's a deep and profound, moving moment that I had this week.
How old was you when you killed your goldfish?
Now, I didn't kill it. It danced itself to death.
How did it get on the table?
Well, I lifted it out by its tail and put it. I thought it would like a change of scenery.
How old is he?
Oh, I don't know, about 6.
Yeah, you sure?
How do you? Well, do you think I was 16?
Well, that's what I was thinking.
Do you think I sort of have this death wish? Every time I see an animal, I want to kill it.
Well, I don't know. There is some people out there.
If anyone is listening from the Animal Protection League, I can assure you that was not what happened at all. I love animals, and every time I see a dog, I want to go and pat it. As long as it's not a Rottweiler and it's not snarling and baring its teeth at me.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so what was the fish called? Goldfish.
How did you know? That's exactly what it was called. Very, very good.
Yeah?
Yes. I like it when people pose a question and immediately give the answer. It saves me having to think.
Fantastic. Yeah, so what was the fish or goldfish called?
Actually, I'm not sure it had a name. Goldie.
Goldie.
I've just decided what it was called.
Goldfinger was on TV the other day.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Did you watch it?
I did.
Did you know that in Goldfinger, all of the lines of the Goldfinger character were dubbed in? He didn't speak them himself. He mimed them, and some other actor put them in.
Really?
Because he was German and he couldn't get all the words out clearly. Yeah. But the dubbing is extraordinary. You really can't tell it, and as you know, you look very closely, and sometimes you get half an idea, but it's very difficult to spot.
It's a brilliant film.
Yes. Although there are moments where you can. I mean, in the old days you wouldn't have noticed, but now you can tell that the backgrounds are not real and all that kind of thing. Yeah.
But still,
it's very.
You don't get movies like that anymore. The new James Bonds are.
They're too fast.
Too fast, and Daniel Craig, I have nothing against him as an actor or him as a person. I don't think he really suits the James Bond sort of theme. It's me personally.
Yes.
He doesn't feel like a James Bond to me.
I never quite felt that with Pierce Brosnan either, to be honest.
Yeah, because you had Sean Connery and Roger Moore.
Yes, and Timothy Dalton. I quite liked him.
He did 2 movies, didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, and apparently he stopped doing it because they weren't successful enough. The film producer decided he wasn't, bringing in the punches.
That's why, right?
But I liked his ones. I thought they were good.
Yeah.
Of course, they had that damp squib with what's his name, George Lazenby. He did 1 film only. On Her Majesty's Secret Service. Yeah, he took over from Sean Connery, but only survived 1 film.
Wow.
And the reason for that
was... They never show that. I've never seen that one.
Oh, really? Well, it's not one of the better ones. And although it has a sad ending, though. I mean, it's got quite a sad ending. But he was being told by the crew, well, you're a big star now, start throwing your weight around. And he took it literally, and he did start making everyone's life a misery. And also, we don't want to work with him again.
Oh.
And when I saw an interview with him years later, he said, I'd love to go back to Bond, but I don't think they'd give me a second chance.
Ah.
So there you go.
Yeah.
So if you're going to blow it big.
Yeah. Interesting. I never knew that.
If he hadn't been like that, we'd never have had Roger Moore, probably.
Roger Moore, Eve was a classic as well.
Yes.
He was a classic. Yeah, I prefer the old.
Well, and it's also interesting that Octopussy, and that was actually the last one of the original James Bond novels to be filmed. All the others have been done by then. Subsequently, if they decided to make any more, they've got to come up with new stories, and that's where I think it began to just lose its
magic, isn't
it? Yeah. Too reliant on noise and bangs and flashes and stuff.
Yes.
And I don't follow the stories very easily like I can with the old ones.
Yeah. Well, as I mentioned at the beginning of the pod, you're in technology, you're in fast-paced things. It's
I know.
Middle age. That's what happens.
Well, it's true. Well, I mean, now that middle age has, finally begun to appear on the distant horizon, I sort of have to, acknowledge that it will reach me before too long. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Fantastic. So, have you watched any good movies?
No, all the ones I watch are terrible.
So, when you went on your holiday to see your family,
you
didn't see any.
I did on the plane on the way over. Yes,
there you
I
go.
did.
So you did see something.
Yes, I did, and one was very good indeed, and one that I was really looking forward to turned out not to be as good as I thought it was going to be, but it was still sort of all right. And the two movies were, shall I tell you?
Please.
The first one was Conclave, which was the one about electing a new pope, which was astonishing, the timing, because it coincided with the death of the actual pope in real life.
Yeah.
Someone die in life, you know what I mean? Yeah. Anyway, so I watched that on the plane, and it was a bit of a slow start, and I thought, am I going to kind of stay the distance? Right. But suddenly I realised it was well into it, and I was absolutely hooked, and it was very good indeed.
Okay,
so good. And it's now on Amazon Prime, you can, or ITV.com or something. It's on one of those things. You can,
right.
And the other one was the Hugh Grant one, Heretic.
Oh, isn't it a horror or something?
Well, it's a bit macabre, but it's the first time he's played a serious role rather than a comedy role. So I was interested to see how he managed it, and I watched it, and it was all right. But I just couldn't shed the image of him as a comedian.
Yeah.
And he didn't really come across as that much of a sinister character. I didn't think.
Okay.
Even though the story itself got a bit sinister and dark as it went on.
Okay.
But that was just my taste test on those.
Okay.
So probably a good 8 or 8.5 for Conclave, and maybe kind of 5 and a bit for Heretic.
Yeah, because he is in the Paddington movies as well. Well, 2 of the Paddington movies.
But they're not horror stories, are they?
No, but he's a funny character in that.
Right.
Because he went out with Liz Hurley, didn't he?
Well, that was funny for a start.
Yes. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. That was amazing. Yeah, Liz Hurley.
Yes. So have you watched any movies lately, apart from Goldfish that you already told me?
The only one... Yeah, so... James Bond, as I mentioned.
Yeah. You're quite a James Bond addict then, aren't you? Not an addict, but you're keen on those type of things.
Yeah, because I think I mentioned this on a previous pod. When I was a kid, we only had 3-4 channels, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
So ITV only used to show, when it came to bank holidays and summer holidays and Christmas, James Bond movies and Star Wars.
And this was before video recorders.
Yes.
So you had to watch it when it was on, or you missed it.
Yes.
Yes, that was it.
So, because BBC didn't really show that many films, but ITV always showed the Star Wars and James Bond. So that's the reason why. So it's a nostalgia more than anything, I probably think. But I think they're really good films anyway.
Well, yes, but you remember as well, back in those days, people would say, do you like BBC or do you like ITV?
Yes.
And so, well, I like BBC because there aren't any adverts. Yeah. Oh, well, I like ITV because of the adverts. You can go and put the kettle on and all that kind of thing. You remember that? So that was quite extraordinary, how that always used to work. And the number of times people would say, oh, yes, thanks for the invite. Yeah, we'll come around and see you on Saturday. Do you mind if we come a bit later because there's something we want to watch on the channel?
Yeah.
And this was acceptable then, because if you missed it, you did. That was it. You missed it. And I can remember we'd be all playing outside in the street, all those little kids, and someone would go, Doctor Who's on. So we'd all go rushing inside to watch Doctor Who. And then after 25 minutes, we'll come back out and start playing again.
They're changing the Doctor, aren't they? He's left his role.
Yet again, yes. You see, but we're talking about James Bond losing its kind of initial magic. I think Doctor Who's done the same, really.
Disney have helped. They help funding Doctor Who, and they're having their say. Disney's last project since Endgame on the Avengers have not been successful. That's what I've got to say.
Right.
Yeah, Disney, they have their ideas, what they're doing. I don't know what's going on. They seem to be changing too much. They're not
Yes,
catering to what people want. They're catering to what a selected audience.
they're trying to broaden out too much, aren't they?
Yes, but you should go with why if it's not broken, why fix it?
Yes,
And that their
yes.
problem is that they're just trying to cater for everybody. Right, we got to do this, we got to do that.
Yeah.
No,
Yes.
just keep it simple, keep it smart.
Yeah, that's right. That's that's often what happens with a lot of organisations. They get very good at what they do, and then they try and overreach themselves.
Yes.
And I can think of one organisation very close to my heart that I won't name in case they libel me, but that's exactly what's happened.
Just write it down. Just write it down.
And in particular, I will. And in particular, and the main thing is simply this: that I've been involved with them for a long time, but the fact is that the people who are running it now are not the people who were running it back then. And the people who came in, well, they're not the people who were there before. And, and so it's gone downhill a bit. But there we are. It is what it is. They never asked me about it, so what do they expect? Oh, by the way, changing the subject. You may remember, or you may not. It's one of those two options I think is likely.
Okay.
That in a previous edition of A Jolly Good Natter Over Coffee and Biscuits, which incidentally, dear listener, you can contact us directly by emailing us at ajollygoodnatter@gmail.com. Please do contact us, because Mark, especially Mark, he needs to feel that connection. He needs to feel wanted and loved.
Yes.
Because I do. I worry about him constantly. Anyway, while you're busy writing your email, we will tell you. You may remember in a previous edition, one of the things we spoke about, at some length, I might add, was that TV program, The Crystal Maze.
Yes.
You remember that?
Yes.
And since then, there's a new one that started, which is, it's different, but it's of a similar ilk, where there's all these contestants running around from one room to another and trying to solve puzzles and do stuff, called The Genius Game, presented by David Tennant. Now, have you watched The Genius Game?
I did not. As you did not tell me that you started watching it. We had this discussion briefly. So I'm quite disappointed.
You decide whether you're watching TV based on whether I've told you to watch it.
Because I have other things to do.
So if I had told you to watch it, you would have watched it?
I would have.
Right. There's a 6-hour edition of the Open University coming on, nuclear physics. Watch that then.
But we had a prior discussion.
Yes.
That before you went away, that we was going to watch it, and then what we was going to do, I was on the assumption that when the first episode comes out, we can discuss that episode, and then we can discuss the episode thereafter.
Yeah, exactly.
But you've gone and watched how many episodes?
Well, I've watched all the ones that are there. But we can still discuss them one at a time when you're watching them. Anyway, my point is, the main reason I mentioned it was I just thought it had this idea that turned out to be completely wrong. And not only that, it wasn't right either. But it turned out that they weren't kind of just playing little silly games and like on Crystal Maze. It's called the Genius Game for a reason, because they have to solve these puzzles and do stuff that really requires a lot of brain power. Those games they do are difficult. And I'm sitting there going, I wouldn't have a chance if I was doing this. Okay. Not a clue. So not only are they trying to solve these difficult games, but they have to try and do it in such a way that gives them the upper hand against everybody else in the thing. Because in the end, only one of them will win. So they have to work as teams, but also, in the end, one of them is going to be the winner. So it's this kind of bluff and double bluff and betrayal and stuff going on back and forth, you see.
Right.
So it's operating on different levels. It's not just solving these puzzles only. But I've kept watching it, even though I don't really understand it. The weakness of the show, I think.
You don't understand
well, I'm keen to see how it all pans out.
Yeah, okay.
But the weakness, it has a weakness, I've got to say.
Okay.
So if you're listening, producers of the Genius Game, you might like to know there is one weakness, and I'm sure you're already aware of it, which is that David Tennant, who presents, who I am in complete awe of him. I think he's a fantastic actor, a fantastic presenter. But on this particular show, he only appears on the screen. He's not actually in the room with the contestants.
Oh, so he's not the same as the Crystal Maze?
No, not on Crystal Maze, where the presenter was running around and doing all the games as well. So they're all standing there in this room, and suddenly a screen will light up, and there's David Tennant. He says, right, now, here's your next thing you've got to do.
Yeah, that's a bit...
And then after he said his piece, the screen goes off again.
No, I don't like that.
Yeah, it's
No.
not so good.
It's not appealing.
It needs to be more interaction.
Yeah.
Really.
Okay.
See, now the thing is, if those producers are listening, I would be happy to present that show and get involved with the players more, and I would do it for half the fee. That's the thing. You see, so you can bring it in under budget. You think I'm joking?
No.
Good.
No.
Okay, that's all right then.
Well,
why would I joke about anything? I never make jokes. Anyway, how we do? Oh, we haven't done a taste test. Do you want to do a taste test?
Fantastic. I am looking forward to this one today.
Right. Well, you remember you used to watch the Generation game?
Yes,
Yeah,
I used to really enjoy it as a
Yes,
child.
it was compulsive Saturday night viewing, wasn't it? Because you had Basil Brush, then you had Doctor Who, then you had the Generation game, and it was
boom.
Yes, exactly. Anyway,
for American listeners out there, sorry to cut you there, Richard. For American listeners out there, if you do get a chance, go on YouTube, just type in Basil Brush.
Yes.
Once you see him, you will never forget him.
Yeah, and you'll understand British humour in all of its quaint complexity.
Yes.
Well, when the Generation game came on, presented by Bruce Forsyth, and at one time his then wife, do you remember her, Anthea Redfern? And he'd say, "Let's meet her, and great are the lovely Anthea Redfern," and she'd come out, and he would always say, "Give us a twirl." Do you remember that? She'd do a little spin. Now that's what we have today in the taste test. You see what I did there? So this is. You're very kind. So this is a Cadbury's twirl that we are going to do a taste test for today. And as always, I must warn you, make sure you open the wrapper before you eat it. You can take I worry about you constantly. Now this is if you're familiar with a Cadbury's flake, it's very similar to a flake.
It is.
But it's coated in chocolate, so when you eat it, all the bits don't go all over the place.
And it's an aluminium type packaging.
Yeah, kind of silver foil, but it's purple foil. Oh.
But you need a 99p ice cream with this, though.
You do. The thing I like about this, it's not so much the taste, although the taste is fun. I like the texture of it. All that kind of crinkly rippliness.
You're right. But the difference between this and the flake is, as soon as you bite into it, you have more on the floor. You have a pile. You have a mole pile just of flake.
When I was little, I used to try and eat it very, very carefully, and I'd have the wrapper flattened out, so all the broken bits would land on the wrapper, and then I'd get a drinking straw and suck up all the bits. Did you do that too?
No.
Oh.
No, the only thing I used to do is use my hand to pick it up.
I think my way was more entertaining.
Yeah, that's why I was laughing.
Oh, okay. All right, so what's your score then for this one? Is it as good as the Terry's mint orange thing we tried last time? Deep in thought there. Very profound. I can tell you're going to come out with something that will be so deep and profound and incredibly thoughtful that it will be worthy of a footnote in a little consulted subsection of Wikipedia.
It does melt well, like that. It's not too crunchy. Well, not crunchy. It's crumbling, which is good.
Yeah, there's a nice bit of crumbliness to it. Okay, so do you have you reached a verdict?
I'll write it down.
Okay.
Have you got your verdict?
Yeah, I'm trying to decide how it stacks up against the chocolate orange thing from last time. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm there with my score.
Because I do prefer plain chocolate.
Oh, okay.
That has always been one of mine.
I've got something to tell you about that.
Okay.
But I'll wait till you've done your score, then I'll tell you. Dum, da-dum. I'm doing suspense music here while you think. Da-dum, da-dum.
Okay.
Da-dum,
okay.
Da-dum. You put 8. I'm on 8.75 because I think it's very good, but not quite as good as the chocolate orange thing. I like that.
Yes.
I like that a bit better. There we are. So the
All
scores are pouring in.
They are.
Now then, you mentioned about plain chocolate.
Yes.
I actually went to the trouble a few days ago of sending an email to the customer service department of Mars.
Oh.
Yes, now this was not a complaint, it was just an inquiry.
Ooh.
So they must have been very pleased to get a message from somebody that wasn't a complaint.
Yes.
And it had to be Mars because I was actually asking about bounty bars. But Mars makes bounty bars, apparently. It's all part of their thing. And my general inquiry and question was, is there any particular reason why the plain chocolate bounties are so rare? Why you can't find them anywhere? And even on the rare occasion when you do find them, they're always individuals. You can't get any multi-packs.
Yeah.
And then I put in brackets on the end, by the way, free samples always gratefully accepted, with a smiley emoji, you see.
As you do, why not?
Yes.
If you don't ask, you're never going to know.
That's right. And a couple of days later, back came a reply. And it said, thank you for your reply. Yes, because the plain chocolate bounty proved to not be as popular as the milk chocolate one, some time ago we had to make the difficult decision to discontinue production. And then it said, I mean, surely they must have realised my comment about the free samples was just a bit kind of tongue-in-cheek, no pun intended. Then they said, unfortunately, we get lots of requests for free samples, therefore can't send out any. But thank you for your interest. Anyway, that's it. So that explains why we can't have dark chocolate bounties anymore.
And we don't get a free sample for our pod either.
No, exactly. And I did actually go to my AI website place and type in and say, is there anywhere that still says dark chocolate bounties? And incredibly, it did come up with some. But when I went to the website, there's the picture of it and it said no longer available. So they're still advertising it, but no longer available. Apart from one place I saw that did have it, and underneath it said, NB, if you buy this, please make sure you check the sell-by date before you use it.
Oh.
So they were actually going to sell me a thing that might be past its date.
Right, okay. Because there's collectors out there.
Oh, are there?
Yeah.
Who would buy a bounty bar and just leave it sitting there and never actually... Well, it would go off, wouldn't it, eventually?
Yeah, but there's...
Maybe they keep it in the fridge or something.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Okay, well...
Well, there we are. So we're up to date once again.
Yes, we are.
Yes.
Fantastic.
So thanks for listening. We're great to have your company. But don't forget about the email address. Please do write to us. And I'm all right. Look, I can manage with that. But Mark, you really just need to hear from you. At jollygoodnatter@gmail.com. It's live. It's waiting to hear from you. And in fact, you shouldn't be wasting time listening to the end of this podcast. You should already be writing the message, even as we speak. So, as we always say, please don't cry because it's over, but smile because it happened.
And be nice to each other. We'll speak to you soon.
We will, so there. So thank you for coming, and we'll see you soon. Goodbye.